Hey, it's Soul with a guide to help you understand what's going on and what to prepare for in patch 915 if you've been ignoring pretty much everything else up until now. I should first start by telling you that, you know what, everything's okay. This is not a bona fide content patch. We're still on Season 2, and the Sylvanas fight is still really long. If you've mentally checked out for Season 2, go ahead and just keep doing what you're doing. Do me a favor though, and help the algorithm by pressing that like button, and I'll catch you later. But some of you have been waiting for this patch since like the start of Shadowlands, and for that, I'm here to help you along the way, so let's frickin' go. There's only a handful of things to do before the patch, but there's only one that I would say is the most important, and that's to get one character to renown 80. You can do so right now with a little bit of elbow grease. 80 is going to take you places, and I'll fill you in on what in just a bit. And there's a little more to add to the checklist. Consider completing each of the 4 Covenant campaigns once. If you haven't done so yet, there are some really cool moments and sweet cutscenes that you might as well experience once. If you're waiting for 915 to do this though, that's cool too. Leveling is going to be faster and more lucrative for alts, so don't feel bad about sticking to your plan. There is the third thing you can do, but this depends on your long-term plans, and that is to farm up a truckload of anima. Like as much as you can possibly get across all your characters. There are not any big increases to anima sources, so don't feel like you're wasting work by farming now. The anima is for when you feel like upgrading your sanctums and or buying up all of them cosmetic rewards, and 915 is going to make spending all that anima more worthwhile. The fourth thing, also optional, if you're the type who sells off pets, save your pet charms. Training stones are going down in price, making it easier to doll up your pet and give it a lot more value. The last thing to consider would be to get an authenticator, either a mobile or a physical one, whatever, if you are the type to make groups on the pre-made group tool. You don't need one to make groups, but you do need it to be able to use custom text or otherwise to kind of confirm that you're not a bot or that you're using an account that can easily be compromised. Don't out yourself like that. Alright, so let's pretend that it's day 1 of the patch. We'll begin by listing all the new things that you might be able to do. And I say might because these activities don't apply to everybody. Some people won't care, and I just wanted to dump a bunch of bullet points somewhere, might as well be here. Druids have new travel forms that can be collected and reused across other druids on your WoW account. All you have to do is buy or craft the new marks associated with them. On the flip side, folks who have inscription as their profession, you can make big bank off of druid players with new marks that you can craft. The crafting recipes are pretty easy to get, it just involves a little bit of farming mobs, while other recipes need you to be revered with a wild hunt and honored with the court of night. The sources are shown on your profession tab in case you need to double check. For Night Fae characters, there are a bunch of new soul shapes that might be available. I was only able to find a few of them, like at the Court of Night vendor and at the amphitheater nearby. The other soul shapes might be on vendors that I just couldn't find, they could be drops or more. For everyone, there are new toys from each covenant you can get from completing covenant callings. Now this might not be a big deal, but also with the patch, depending on the rank of your anima conductor, you can get extra grateful offerings to buy stuff with. But you'll eventually run into these toys just bumming around. And for players who play as Lightforged Draenei, High Mountain Tauren, Nightborn, or Blood Elves, there are new customizations you can mess with over at the Barber. I'm sure that people are a little excited about being able to switch covenants freely, so let's talk about how that's going to work. As a reminder, you do need to be at Renown 80 to make full use of this feature, but once you have it, it's activated account-wide. The process for switching covenants is the same as usual. You go to the Enclave and you talk with the NPC that you want to switch your covenant to. And if you want to switch back to a covenant you were a part of, just talk to that previous NPC again. The quest needed to switch to a covenant you were previously a part of is no more. Here's the kicker though. Your anima, your redeemed souls, and most of your followers do not follow you. With regards to the former, what you can do is buy anima containers that let you move anima across covenants, even across alts. Just buy them from this NPC here, and use them while you're at a Sanctum NPC. From here, there's an item that you can buy that'll auto-boost your covenant level to 40. You can use this as soon as you join a covenant. You don't even need to be max level. And for each covenant campaign you've previously completed, you'll now be able to recruit your second and third soulbinds right after you recruit your first. So you basically bypass completing the campaign. The drawback is that you still need to complete the campaign to obtain the armor set that's associated with it. Yeah, I know, I'm bitching about that too. Like I said earlier, only a handful of your followers will come with you across covenants, however, they at least keep their level. Your disposable troops also retain their level. There's an item you can buy for 10,000 anima to boost low-level followers to 30 quickly, but I only suggest doing this if you have tons of excess anima, because your troops alone are going to be able to crush the missions that help progress you through adventures. In testing, weird things have happened when I'd send followers off to, go on some mission and then switch to another covenant and send the same followers and then switch it back again. Sometimes the missions are cancelled, sometimes they're not. So you're going to run a small risk of running into issues if you were to try running missions across all 4 covenants on a single character. Now let's put all this together. Here's what I'm going to do when the patch drops. I'm going to head to Oribos and buy 3 of these items that boost my renown level in a covenant to 40. Then I'm going to take the anima that I have and turn it all into tokens. Next I'll head downstairs and switch to the other covenant, using the renown booster each time. Just so I can get it out of the way. As I do this, I'll even get some bonus anima tokens to boot. I'm also going to do the introductions for each covenant to get all of the soul binds unlocked, followed by starting the level 1 sanctum upgrades for the anima conductor, the adventure table, and the travel network. That's because each covenant starts with 5 redeemed souls. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to focus on a single covenant, and in my case, it's going to be the Night Fae, and start investing my time and resources into unlocking appearances, upgrading the sanctum further, and that sort of thing. On the few alts that I have left to level, I'm going to behave sort of the same way. I'll join every covenant and boost their renown to 40. That way, as I level, I'll get access to more of that bonus renown sooner. Now let's go over the quality of life perks to look out for. They're mostly targeted towards alts, but for single character players, there's stuff for you too. There's little to no additional work needed. You can now skip the Maw introduction. You just need to talk to the quest NPC before entering the Death Gate. Woohoo! Later on, when you return to the Maw, you can teleport from Venaria's Refuge all the way to this teleporter right up near the Sanctum of Domination raid's entrance. If you're leveling alts, you'll notice that the bonus objectives are way more lucrative with higher XP and gear rewards. I definitely suggest pushing the objectives to complete those quests for easy renown after you use that renown 40 boost that I mentioned earlier. That one quest to collect redeemed souls will now always be set to 20, and it can be repeated indefinitely. Rescued souls from Torghast also count towards this quest, so you're still putting in the work. There's just a bit of overlap thanks to Torghast, and with this you can grind away at upgrading your sanctum if and when you want to. You can unlock stuff on your anima conductor much faster now because you can channel anima into all of the available nodes at once instead of just one per day. For Kyrian players, the Path of Ascension is way easier, with soulbinds receiving a flat 20% buff to their abilities. For Venthyr players, there's a new quest that you can have other players pick up if you go into the Ember Court together. This will help them gain friendship faster. Island expeditions can now be queued up solo. You still have to go to the island NPC to start it though. Warfronts can be queued up with as few as 5 people, in case you're still missing some of those cosmetics. Now when you open up your dressing room, you can click this button here to open your appearance list and see what transmog you're sporting. You can also link your outfit in chat so others can look at it. It works like a chat command, so you can even copy-paste the string outside of WoW to share your appearances. Legion Mythic raids are still going to feel challenging compared to earlier expansions like Warlords, but they're much easier to solo now. A little bit of retuning here and there have made Legion boss mechanics much more manageable. Torghast climbs will reward double the currencies that they do now, and there's no more weekly lockout on them, so if you want to sit down and grind your way to that 262, go right ahead. Your alts can level in Torghast now as well. It might not be the most efficient way to go, but there's nothing wrong with a little change of scenery either. There's a new rank for heirloom gear, which will probably help if you level in Torghast, because as far as I've seen, it still doesn't drop gear for leveling. Boo-hoo. A special note, over in Mythic Plus World, there are some very big nerfs. The bolstering effects now only buffs mobs for 20 seconds, although it can refresh as you gain stacks, so this will change your strategy a bit. Necrotic Wound only lasts for 6 seconds, down from 9, and Raging's bonus damage was reduced to a plus 50%, down from plus 75%, both of which will provide much needed relief to tanks. Korthia's got a bunch of buffs to it too that you have to sort of manually unlock. You can deposit anima next to the Archivist Codex NPC after completing a very short questline. From the NPC itself are quests that you can pick up to increase relic drop chances. There's also a new manual that you can buy account-wide that increases rep gains when you turn in relics. And once unlocked, your alts can buy the Korthia perks without needing to meet the rep requirement. There's also a new weekly quest that you can complete for bonus reputation. I suggest picking up the quest and then going around the map to find those rift caches. They'll help you complete this quest super fast. Tucked here in the back are the new things that you'll still be waiting for after the patch drops. Legion Time Walking includes your good old Time Walking dungeons, as well as Mythic Plus dungeons, as well as the Mage Tower. There are different rules for these Time Walking features too. Instead of scaling you down, Legion Mythic Plus dungeons will be scaled to max level, and only current expansion features are usable. Soulbinds, Covenant abilities, legendaries, that stuff. The Mage Tower, on the other hand, disables all expansion features, including Shadowlands, but you can still pull off some gear shenanigans with older trinkets and gear and gems. This is going to launch on December 7th, giving you time to make a gear set tailored to take on the Mage Tower challenges. I'll include a Wowhead guide in the description below that'll take you through how that works. But I just want to leave one last note, this is going to be a month out, things can change before then. And finally, new boots are coming to the Trial of Style, but that's not going to be around until the end of March, which for all we know might be close to the 9.2 patch, go figure. This is not absolutely everything in the patch. There's, the lifting of the AoE cap on most abilities, there's the class and covenant changes, but I do hope that this gives you a good idea of what you'll be logging into, and what small things you can do to prepare. I hope this was useful, and if so, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next thing. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.